Sugar trying to play me, and now they hate me. Now when I come around, got them screaming, oh she fame me. When I turn around, got them clicking, trying to paste me. Better pipe down before it get messy. What's up, my parties? How you doing, my lovelies? Okay, so I just got through watching something that was talking about UFOs, but allegedly now, if you've been searching for UFOs, you may not be coming back with too much stuff because apparently they done changed the motherfucking name, and I'm concerned to say the least. But I'm just here to discuss it because who else gonna motherfucking discuss it, right? So, not to be alarmed, not to be scared, but we might want to be a little freaked out, but it's cool, it's a little bit. Um, I'm not here to play. I'm really here to just be on that serious tip right now. Just decided to come on here because it's real. Okay, it done got real. So let's just get straight to the point. I'm not trying to do no fancy cartoons, no fretchy whatever. Just have this playing while you're doing whatever. Okay, so if you want to laugh, I got some previous videos that I just did that may make you laugh. Maybe the Cardi B and Tasha K one. But this one here is really not to be laughed at. Okay, so it's been brought to my attention that a lot of strange things have been going on. Okay, not just me talking about, I've heard stories about stuff that American people should know about, and maybe about 20 people listen to that video because for some reason my stuff be motherfucking censored. Okay, but it was concerning that the American people need to know what's going on with containing to unidentified beings, people, and possible threatening to the reason why Donald Trump was trying to start a what is it called? Space Force. And maybe that's the reason why he's trying to run. Because I'm trying to figure out why is him and Biden trying to run again anyway. They almost 90 years old. Like, just live your life, But I guess the stuff that he found out in the administration, he wanted somebody to know. So if you don't know, the White House finally heard that, and they came up with a meeting very, very quickly from when I did my video. My video was done probably a couple months back about that it could be some serious stuff that America needs to know, because the story that I heard, to be quite honest, was to say the least, breathtaking. Just a little bit. I really can't talk about it too much, because, yeah. But it's something that you would want to know, right? But it's not my job to let y'all know. It's the people at hand's job to let y'all know, apparently. Okay. So thankfully they have been honest with us, because we've been hearing about sightings, UFOs, Area 51 for years and years and years. They've been playing with it, toying with it, introducing us to the men in black, so forth and so on. But allegedly this stuff might really exist, and it's really getting out of hand. So much so now that the animals are even acting up. Because if you don't know, they are saying, like, in the Atlantis and the oceans, there may be some cities underwater, like ancient cities that were covered up with water. And some of those people say that there may be some giants from past back then. And I don't know, a lot of prehistoric stuff has been popping out. People finding animals from thousands of years ago, microorganisms from thousands of years ago. I don't know if they're thawing off or whatever, because I know it's getting hot, and maybe that's what they meant by the ice age. A lot of that stuff was frozen. I'm not sure, because I'm like, how is this stuff coming here? Is it just either it's thawing out, or this stuff been here and just now popping out? And some of the stuff that I'm telling you is, they just announced in Australia that these whales, like almost 50 some whales, just beached on a shore. And I'm gonna probably do another video about that. But my head is about to start hurting in a minute. But these whales are coming out the water, and these are very, very huge, huge, huge mammals, and all of them passed because they wanted to be out of the water opposed to being in the water. And these are one of the largest animals that's in the water. So allegedly, the only reason why those animals would want to come out the water is if there was no food, which very well the food supply is been like compromised. The oxygen levels could be low, or there's a bigger threat in the water that's making them want to get out the water. And we've heard stories of, Jesus coming back and stuff like that, Redemption Day, Judgment Day. They've even said there's a time where people gonna get retribution for the years of slavery and injustice that happened to them. You hear so many freaking stories. And it kind of has some sense to it, but just like people, there's good and there's bad spirits. There's good and bad people, in my opinion. And I feel like there's good and bad aliens, okay? The problem is the fact that there are some, just like you have good aliens, there are some bad ones as well. And the fact of deciphering what's which might be a little bit more trickier, because even some of the ugly ones can be nice, and some of the nice looking ones could be not so nice. And allegedly there's some giant ones, like I'm talking about 2 or 3 people tall ones, and allegedly they're threatening a neighboring country for attack. And these people are able to do extraordinary things. First of all, in the meeting, I'm sorry, the man who had brought witness, thankfully he came forward with this. He said he was very alarming to him, which I believe. But he said he saw beings in clear machines. Okay. Now, normally you used to UFOs being a certain color and this and that, but these, he said, was clear. They had passengers in it. Okay, and my deal is this, right? It's like, the way this is going, it's like, why haven't we all seen them? Okay, because I've been seeing some very disturbing things online, meaning snakes that have legs, fish that have legs walking on land, prehistoric animals coming out the water. And it's very disturbing. Very disturbing. But that's in the water. But this stuff is eventually going to have to come out the water if they decide to rise up, because allegedly there's been rumors that there's aliens that are inside the earth. I know that's crazy. I've heard that. I've heard under the water. I've heard that. I've heard in the White House. Like, I've heard so many stories. You just never know what's what, right? And it's crazy because let's say you run across one of these things, right? And you don't know what to do. Because, you hear the lady on the plane, she gets crazy, whatever. And of course, the people made it to point A and B. So some of them are not as threatening as others. But the ones that are is the concern. Because the ones that are can teleport. That means they can be in Arizona one second. The next second they could be in Transylvania. Like, they move like that, and they're not able to be stopped by regular arms. And some of these are they like human flesh. So that's what the disturbing part is, because the worst thing to do is to panic, have a frenzy, okay? Because allegedly some of the talk that I did hear was that they have demands and they're not really playing. And some of the demands were saying that they were threatening to use force that may cause the livelihood of certain people. And all I'm saying is, like, people are going to want to know how to protect themselves, but they can't. I mean, they can, but it's going to be more of a spiritual war than anything. Like, you got to be strong mentally. You just can't be strong 3D physically. Hence why I be not tripping about the Bible so hard, because stuff like this is not talked about in the Bible. It doesn't talk about man eating aliens up in the mother freaking Bible. But I do know some of them, they're saying, or already here. So I guess the main thing is to try to make peace with them. Okay. And another thing is not to freak out when you see weird-ish, because allegedly a couple years back they said cats are a form of that. Not all the cats, but some of the cats have that ability. And these cats can shift, meaning they can turn from cat-like beings to cats. And some of them, allegedly, their poop can be deadly to humans. And so much so, like, it can cause them to get sick, cause things to them that they normally wouldn't have or whatever. And there is a race war. They have different colors of aliens, different types of aliens. Some even say some of the whiter color aliens are in the House of Representatives disguise. That's what I heard. Some of them, they say work with people, but you can't really believe everything you hear, until it's been confirmed, right? One of the officers said that he was told by government officials to keep it private. So that lets you know, hey, right, it may be true. But they also have, I've heard, black tall aliens as well. And they say that they're not nice. They're not nice. Now, I don't know if it's to get back for those years of whatever. I don't know if they would eat blacks. I'm not sure the ones the same color them or what. I'm not sure. But I do know that allegedly there was a sighting where the Dark Ones had made a threat to a certain country that starts with an R and threatened the livelihoods of dictators and people in that civilization. And these beings were not to be played with. And not only were you not able to see them at eye's length, they had abilities that you can't really touch them unless they wanted you to touch them. And they had to use special equipment to deal with these beings. And these beings were tall. Okay. Allegedly. Okay. And one of the dudes who was talking about said situation came up missing. Or better yet, they said something else happened to him. And he was lucky to escape the country because I guess they wanted him to tell. But I feel like we need to listen to any country out there that could fit that description to see what they're talking about. Because for so long, they've been at war with America. Allegedly. But I don't really have no problem with them. But the fact that these beings had a problem with them and they decided to meet with them. I'm not saying they didn't meet with nobody from the U.S., but the fact that they went over there and had a meeting, who's to say they won't come over here? And what they were saying was either you do what I say or you're going to get sprayed. And that's crazy. And I feel like, the only those people you hear with superpowers like telekinesis, because some people do have that, different powers, they're going to have to, like I said, on a spiritual level, on that sci-fi level, because like I said, the Bible ain't telling you about that besides Judgment Day. You have to be ready to fight for your life and the life of your people, allegedly, possibly sooner than later. And it really saddens me to say this because the members in government were very, some of them look scared. And I would say they would have a reason to, but these are the same people that hold weapons. But like I said, the story that I heard before the guy passed or whatever, I don't know if it's been taken down or what, but regular fire is not touching these things, not even an inch touching these things. And okay, so we have the cats. Try to make peace with them. And if they come up and do a magic trick with one of their 9 lives, don't think nothing of it. Just let them know you need them help, because usually they can only help you if you ask. You know what I'm saying? So if you see a cat, work with that mofo. All I can say, maybe they can help you, maybe not. I don't know. If you see a water creature, some of them may have characteristics of these things too. Yeah, they may come from the water or whatever, and they may be ancient things or whatever, but some of these, allegedly, some of them are beings and not actual things, if that makes sense. And the only other thing is like the trees. Allegedly, people have seen trees moving. I've seen trees interact with people. Okay, so they usually, from what I see, they're really friendly. So if you need to reach out to a elemental, try to do that. Like I said, this is not the average 3D war. It would definitely be something spiritual. And the fact that they're showing up, and the government had a meeting within like a 2 or 3 months after me saying they need to have a meeting about this, is probably more serious than not, because a lot of stuff they would keep confidential. And I knew that Trump's idea of saying he needed a alien force is something that needs to be talked about. So I'm glad that they're having this conversation. Now, true enough, I have not physically seen any lately, but like I said, I don't know if it was my imagination or whatever. I do feel like cats do they are part of the alleged Lyrian group, I believe. With some people, you heard about angels coming down and mating with humans. Some of the angels, I feel like, have alien DNA. And some of the people have alien DNA, henceforth why they are able to teleport, have kinesis and different things. Some people I've heard actually have these abilities. I was looking at a documentary today about this woman that ended up in jail because she was putting her daughter in danger because she wasn't able to deal with her ability to be able to set stuff on fire, have electricity come out and stuff like this. So it is people that have these abilities. So if you see it, don't be alarmed. Don't panic. But a lot of this is not physical. It's a spiritual warfare, meaning the stuff that you physically would think to do, you can't do. So, I would say study all this stuff that seems sci-fi, Men in Blackish, the Galaxy of Confederation allegedly has been a federation who is associated with aliens to like kind of like a space war, and they have sent out a couple speeches, a couple of messages, because I used to watch them back in the day, and they usually come in peace, but like I said, they have some that are not so peaceful. But I will say the encounter that I remember having when I was young, I feel like it was a tall one, like they can be tall, but I didn't physically see it. I saw a smaller version, and the version that I saw that was small was through a window curtain. But the thing that I saw is definitely scary to the eyes. If I would have seen it physically, I probably would have passed out. Let me just say that. But they came in peace. And I could have been dreaming. But I'm just saying what I saw made me a believer. Okay? But these things didn't look. If you were to see them in real, and you look through the Galaxy Confederation, you will see them. They look mean as hell. Okay? From it's like I said, it's like 1,000 different species, right? And allegedly one of their planets was destroyed, so a lot of them target Earth. And I said I would be surprised if some of those stars was what there was. But the main thing is to try to, just be knowledgeable, get knowledge as much as you can, get in touch with your spiritual side, and just pray as much as you can, because this is not a normal war. This is not a normal fight. This is an actual sci-fi movie in real mother freaking life. If this is, well, it's not no what if, because they just said publicly that this issue is really happening. And Trump, when he was in office 3 or 4 years ago, said he wanted to have a space force for a particular reason. So there is a threat. They acknowledged that it was a threat. But the problem is, I feel like time is getting shorter and shorter, but people are not knowing what to do. So I'm just giving my 2 cents that I can. Because like I said, when I see a fish walking on land, a literal fish. Now, true enough, when you see stuff on social media, a lot of stuff could be fake. But the stuff that I'm seeing looks real as hell. Now, true enough, this stuff probably can be crazy or whatever. The other thing I would also say is ask AI. They're here. You might as well use it for something. Find out all the information you can find about it from AI, because it might help you later on in life. But don't think you will be able to hide like you regularly would, because these things are taller allegedly than some of the tallest houses. Okay, for one, some of them do look scary, but it's about if they want to show themselves to you. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. And even though, like I said, that they may look scary, some of them are not scary, even though they may look scary. So it'll be a shame if, just like you see an ugly bug and you kill it, or an animal looks like a snake and you chomp it up. Just because something looks a certain way, don't want to hit the good guy because you're scared, if that makes sense. We're here to coexist. I feel like whatever they're asking, give them their demands. Whatever they're asking, I feel like we need to give them their demands. I don't know what they're asking for, but they made a particular demand, and they're basically saying if they don't get it, it's going to be a problem. And so I feel, to the country with the R. So I feel like they need to just give it to them. Simple. That's what I think. Because these people didn't seem like they were ready to compromise at all. And I feel like there were some casualties, and they was saying they would come back. So don't play with them, basically. So the main thing is to try to stay calm. Try to find out all the information you can. Listen to the meeting. I got to go finish listening to the one that I saw. Like, I was already, like, what? I'm seeing fish walking. I'm seeing snakes walking. I'm seeing little monsters that look like sea serpents that you see online. They got teeth and long circular heads. Like, I'm just not ready for this. But at the same time, I feel like the people that's meant to, like the rapture, will survive. The people who aren't supposed to be available won't. But if they're making demands, then I just need to know what those freaking demands are. Period. And hopefully they're going to be discussing them in these meetings soon, so we'll know how to address it, where to go. And once again, I will repeat, some of the stuff that looks crazy, I'm talking about from horns to, you know how you see those creatures with black eyes, and then like these people. I remember I was seeing this man, he did this drawing on a subway, and these people had crazy eyes, but their face, they had did them looking like almost aliens. They had, implants in their heads and knots and beads going up underneath their skulls and stuff like that. There's actual beings allegedly that look like that. And that's sort of similar to what I remember seeing when I looked at the Galaxy Federation. Because when you look at the Galaxy Federation, you will see a lot of beings. And I do know it's crazy, but I was following this this guru of mine from India, Nityananda Swami, and he claimed to be from that region, and he inhabited a body, a being, because he's here as a being, but he said he is not from here. So if he is a part of the good ones, I feel he is, maybe we got to listen to what he said. He's also been outcast right now from India due to the fact that he's not even been able to practice Hindu publicly, but he's been meeting with people from the UN, United Nations, and he is on social media, most platforms, but he doesn't really talk about stuff like that. He talks about things of more of a spiritual sense. But he did say, just like Jesus was here to help save humanity, he was talking in that term like he was risen to help humanity. And he was saying basically he wasn't originally from this earth. So people like that do exist, and they're here to help people. And it's so crazy because, like I said, some people have this DNA in them. Okay. And that's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. And some of the people that have abductions, some of those people could be related to those people, and people who've seen these beings could have some relations to these beings. And a lot of them come back to check on these beings to see, the DNA mutations and stuff like that. That's the way I feel. All this is alleged, besides the fact that was on the channel of United UAF, because they're not calling them UFOs in the video. They're calling them a meeting on UFA, I believe, or UAFs, unidentified assigned. I don't know the name, but all I can say is just get ready. Get ready, be alert, get in the know. I feel like playtime is over. And it's a sad, sad day. Because I was saying, if you see the shark that was coming close to the sea, if you see an animal coming close to the area, don't be alarmed. Let them come, okay? Because first of all, food is scarce. Because think about it. Everybody and their mama is hunting food, okay? Fish and aquatic life. But some of them, I feel like, do get tired of swimming all day, okay? And I'm going to do a video about that. Some of them get tired of swimming all day. Let them rest at the shoreline or where there's shallow water. Sometimes we get tired of swimming all day. So eventually I feel like sometimes they may just have to come to the water. If you see a seal, a shark, a lot of sharks have been coming online, and people have been said, just to help out, that they put them back in the water. Leave them on the land. If they want to be on the land, leave them on the land. So first it was the sharks. Now it's the whales. And then we had, birds? No, it wasn't birds. It was all these fish. I don't know where that was, came out the water. It was like 5,000 or 50,000 fish, just like the whales who came out. So Maybe we're in the last days, and it just is what it is. So start tuning into your government. Start, I don't know, looking for talk of space. What is it? Space Force? I don't know. But, you know, just be alert. And if you are able to offer your services and can offer your services, I feel like some people, yeah, you might be in jeopardy for it, because some people's lives were threatened who already work for the government by coming out with this. But then too, I also feel like some of them don't know what to do. And then there's alleged that some of them already are there and they've been there for years. Okay. So with that being said, so the beings that are here to help, you have to reach out to them, because they usually will stay hidden because they don't want to be captured. And that's the thing; these things can appear and disappear at will. That's the crazy part. And you might feel like you're in a sci-fi movie the next couple of days, and that's what you're supposed to feel like. But we in this together. That's all I can say. Break to the dawn. You know we chrome, sitting on the dome. You know we home. DK, his house is on our zone. DK, his house, Pertion. Sipping on that pearly, white millet merly. Sipping on that pearly, ooh, she dirty.